Nityanandam. Hi, this is Ma Nitya Oviananda. Thank you for watching today, and I am graced with Swamiji's presence in my heart, and I am going to share another thing about inner awakening. See, the beauty of Hinduism, there's so many different things, but the main thing you can think of when you think of Hinduism, it is a transformational religion. So many times I would hear about Christianity. I mean, I was raised Catholic, believe it or not, and so many times I'd hear about converting people, conversion, and the whole, crusades and all down the history. It seemed like there was a bunch of wars about religion, and I never understood that. I just never resonated with me, this whole thing. Why would you claim one thing, different things about, what you do to yourself, you'll get back from others, or treat others the way you want to be treated, and how you should, be humble and act like Jesus did, and all this, then why are there so many wars in the name of religion? I would always wonder that, and it always just turned me off. And that's before I knew really anything about Hinduism. Otherwise, I would have been set straight then. But Hinduism is a transformational religion. It's a spiritual transformation that happens inside you, that opens up inside you. It's not based on a bunch of theories. It is based on the experience. See, all the main scriptures, all the major scriptures of Hinduism, there's millions left by Sadashiva, the Vedas and Agamas, directly spoken by him. Not just somebody copied something down and wrote something about something, and then some other group came and they changed it because they want to control people. I think things happened a lot differently, but that's my opinion. When it comes to, let's say Jesus' life, I really think that things happened a lot differently, but because there were people with vested interests, maybe it started in the Middle Ages. They wanted to control people, so they changed things around to make it convenient for them. And it's very unfortunate, because I really think that actually Jesus was an enlightened being, and he did come here to transform people. But the whole thing was changed around. Anyway, I don't want to get into that so much, but you just look into some other things and you'll see that it's there, the evidence is there. And even the things that they changed in the Bible, if you can find some more of an original version, you'll see that they're referring a lot to the consciousness, to samadhi, to different things. Anyhow, the point is that, not practicing what you preach, and that's what always got me when I was younger and I was studying, because a lot of the, they say these vows of poverty and all this thing with the nuns and the priests, but I'd see these priests, they would go around with gold watches and all these different things, and I just kind of started to question and wonder what it was all about, because nobody seemed to have any answers when I would ask questions. There didn't seem to be any answers, and there was certainly no energy. I never felt that. I just felt like they're always telling me to be, I'm a sinner, like Jesus died for our sins. Really? What sins? What sins did I make? I never understood any of that. So I know that a lot of people, of my friends and all, they always grew up with this guilt. We joke around it, especially with the Irish Catholics, that guilt you grow up with, like you're such a bad person, you did something wrong, so you're having this guilt about your whole life all the time. Stuck in that. Whatever you do, you feel guilty. It's such a horrible feeling to have all the time. Anyway, but people here in India also, maybe this isn't such a nice topic, but the conversion things that happen, conversion, again, they'll go to certain small towns, these missionaries, and they'll see people who are a little hard up, and they'll say, oh, well, we'll give you food and clothing, you just sign up here, you be part of our church, and we'll take care of you. So they make people convert because they're desperate. Let's say this poor guy is trying to feed his family, and for whatever reason, he's just not making it. So he's, as a last resort, he feels he needs to do this. So then he's stuck with them. Then he's forced to go there and perform whatever, services, and change his whole structure around. It totally demoralizes people. Hinduism is such a beautiful religion, such a beautiful tradition, that it's it kind of is really awful if you look at it. There's a book called Crimes Against India. You should read that book. It gives you a lot of the truths of what happened during the times, especially when the British came. Specifically, I remember a story not a story, but reading about how the tax from the British people would come I shouldn't say British people, the Brits, they put a tax on the people's salt. So it's India, it's very hot, as I know. It's been very hot lately where we are, and I'm sweating buckets. And you have to retain the water in your body or you'll dehydrate and die over some period of time. So what do you need? You need salt. You need salt in your food, because when you eat that food, it really helps get it into your system more quickly, and then you retain that water. So you need to have a proper amount of salt in your food, and of course along with plenty of clean drinking water. But what happens when you tax the hell out of salt? People aren't able to afford it, and you're not giving them what they need, what their body needs for this climate. So why is there famine and starvation? Why are people dying? Because of the tax that the British people did. Hello. But then they're saying, oh, India is such a backwards country and blah, 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 whatever nonsense they feed. So many nonsense things I remember hearing about India. And this is one very important thing. And you can read about that in Crimes Against India, this beautiful book. And get to know the truth about the world. Don't just, believe what you hear in one place. That's why Google's so great, because you can get a variety of different things and come to some better conclusions. You don't have to listen to one history book, which is usually biased anyway. So I'm a little bit digressing. I wanted to talk about transformation. I'm just trying to tell you how awesome India is, and if there's any, demoralization among the Indian people, it's because people are trying to break them from their Hinduism, their transformational religion, in which as a child you're introduced to yourself, you're introduced to your spirituality, you're introduced to the deities, to the temple life, and you're getting in tune with that cosmic energy, because that is what is infused into all of the temples. The cosmic energy and connection is there. So you're not just hearing some books, but you're experientially having that energy connection from a young age. You're understanding that you're not below, groveling in the dirt. You're actually part of the divine. You're part of the divine beings. You're part of the cosmos. You're not some lower sinner piece of junk floating around on the ground. You're a strong, powerful being, and you should be introduced to that from a young age. But what happens when that's getting destroyed, that whole culture, they're trying to destroy it? Then what? That's what happens to people, and that's why there's issues because of this. Same thing with the Native Americans. They're being taken away, they were taken away from their land in the U.S., their connection with Mother Earth. So many things we see that another culture trying to take over the indigenous cultures. It's the biggest sin that's happening, I feel. But the transformation of Hinduism is so beautiful. And during Inner Awakening, you can experience yourself. Whether or not you decide to become a Hindu or not, you will experience the love, compassion of a living avatar. The loving compassion that is there in all of the great beings, all the great masters and gurus who have lived in India and who have provided the doorway. Their whole life and body is the doorway to the divine. The transformation of the person, the transmission of that energy to the disciple. You will experience that and understand that when you come to Inner Awakening. And not only that, you will actually understand what the rituals are about, why people worship deities, why there's a connection with these rituals. You see somebody waving around a flame and doing some chanting. That's what it may look like. But if you come and experience and start to understand what do the chants mean, that they're actually Sanskrit, that each syllable is a vibration in the cosmos and a vibration in your space and in your energy centers, and how it shifts and transforms a person. Every single thing done in the temples, in Hinduism and in the temples, has a purpose. From each stone that's placed to each ritual and each flower that's placed on a deity, everything has a significant purpose. And you'll get to experience so many beautiful things like that when you come to Inner Awakening. So it's a beautiful, historical, cultural, spiritual cornucopia, I can say, of Hinduism, a celebration of life. That's what Inner Awakening is, a celebration of life. So come and experience that, understand what it's about, and get your own beautiful transformation and understanding about a beautiful culture that's been around for millions of years. And they have a handle, and they know what the Enlightenment science is. And Swamiji is reviving that, and he's wanting to share it with everybody, no matter what. no matter what religion you came from, no matter what country you come from, no matter what sex you are, no matter what your sexual orientation is, if you're married, unmarried, single, divorced, widowed, black, white, purple, pink, man, woman, transgender, anybody can come. And anybody and everybody, he is waiting to transform and waiting to give the gift of enlightenment too. So please come to Inner Awakening, innerawakening.org, and sign up for the next one today. Please post your questions. I'll be glad to answer. Thanks again for watching. Nityanandam.